You're in the mix.
SKM presents Strictly for the Music Podcast. You are now live with the #1 podcast for all upcoming artists worldwide.
It's the real deal.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode. This is Strictly for the Music Podcast. I'm your host. You already know. The next guest I got live in direct is from St. Louis. She is a Synthpop, Synthwave, and DarkSynth artist and producer. Has one EP releasing soon with one single out. He said, ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, let me introduce you to my next guest, Dajana.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you so much for tuning in with us, and I'm glad that you sent your bio. And man, let's get into this interview right now. So, describe your music from the beginning. How'd you get influenced, and how did this come upon?
Music has just been a big part of my life ever since I was about maybe 5 or 6 years old, because my parents were musicians, specifically my dad, and I'm a daddy's girl, and so my dad played the bass. And he even would fill in for the Isley Brothers, or mainly them, but anybody that needed a bass guitar player when they would travel through St. Louis. And my mom, she played the guitar, and they would always play in the dining room. I don't know why they never played in the living room, but for some odd reason they would play together in the dining room. And I would always dance around and really be, watching what's going on. And music just, I don't know, music's always taken me since I heard it, I guess. And I ended up teaching myself how to play the piano because my dad got my sisters, 2 of my sisters' piano lessons. And I would listen to what they were doing. And one night, I was in the basement by myself, on the piano. And my dad was thinking that it was either one of my sisters, but it was me. And I didn't know how to read sheet music or anything like that, because I was maybe 6 or 7 years old at that time. And my mom and dad was floored because here it is, I was playing these songs that they were learning flawlessly. And so my dad immediately bought me a organ first. And then every Christmas he would get me a Casio keyboard. So yeah.
Dope. All right, so
in the 3rd grade, I did violin, and it just snowballed to me just playing a lot of different instruments all throughout my adolescence, all the way into now.
Dope. All right. So, what you grow up listening to?
To everything. My dad had a vast record collection. He didn't want any of his children to just like one genre or only want to understand one genre. So I thank my father a whole lot for everything that I've done in the music world, because if it wasn't for him being so innovative and a teacher at that, that was amazing. So I love everything. There's not a such thing as a whole entire genre that sucks. Every genre has what I call a golden nugget. So you just gotta look for it, is all.
Dope. Okay. All right, so you said that you were pretty young when you started to do music, and you grew up listening to all kinds of music. So let me ask you this: what do you think makes you different from other artists?
I think that I'm different from most artists in the ways that I love to learn, and I pretty much don't want to stick to just one in particular genre or sound. Every time you hear my music, I used to do house music. I used to produce it and tour around with it. Even my house music, none of the tracks sound the same. I like to use different elements from other genres, to be for real, and throw it into the mix and try to get something that's a little I won't necessarily say experimental, but something that actually works, and I think being a DJ kind of helped in that respects with that. But I think that my music is kind of, I know it has its own little, I guess, sound to it. And I'm so driven with it that, I'm able to incorporate so many different genres in one song and create one type of genre with that music. So
That's
you never
amazing.
get anything that, sounds the same, basically.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So let's go to your catalog. I know you only released one single off your EP, but let's get into it right now. He said, how did this song come upon, and what inspired this track?
Oh wow. It was actually that song was a way for me to get over someone that I had been in love with since I was like 18 years old, and we kept not connecting all throughout our young lives. And it was like, fast forward to 2017, he came back into my life, and it was one of those, if how they say, you let something go, and if it comes back to you, it's yours or whatever. And I had always dreamed of this man and thought of this man, no matter who I was dating, no matter who I was with, what I was doing, he was like my happy place. So when I finally did get him, he was a monster. Everything was not the way that I envisioned it in my mind, and things like, he would always say that, things between us was going to get better, or, our relationship, it gets better, it gets better. And the more he said that, it was just like it snowballed into, just a really bad, toxic situation. And I had this long attachment to him since I was young. So it was hard to wean myself off of him. It was hard to even come to terms that that person that I kind of made up that person in my head. He looked like that guy, but he wasn't that guy. You know what I'm saying? So this is during COVID. This is during like when during the lockdown,
Right.
and everything, where me and this guy breaks up. And so I really didn't have anyone to turn to, and I was very, very depressed. It was a real dark time for me. And I even contemplated, suicide, during, lockdown and everything. And Christmas rolled around. And I had been wanting this bass guitar ever since I was like 12 years old. And my dad kept teasing me with it and kept saying he was going to give it to my nephew. And so he said it so much that I kind of believed it. And so I kind of, forgot all about it and just started buying my own bass guitars and doing whatever. And so finally he gifted me the bass guitar, and I didn't want to die anymore. I had an outlet. I didn't feel lonely anymore. And I immediately named her Marva, because my dad's name is Marvin, and she's beautiful.
That's dope.
And I used that bass guitar as a healing mechanism, and that's what he said is. It was me healing. It was my way of being able to heal and come to terms with, that guy is not who you thought he was, and he's never going to be that guy because you made that up in your head. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much it was hell creating that song, because I'm not really a vocalist. I'm a musician. And so it took a long time. It took like no time to write the lyrics though, but it took a long time to vocal train myself all during, lockdown. It's not like I could go and get go to a vocal coach or anything like that.
Right.
And, when I was younger, I sang in church a lot, and I was even on a couple of famous gospel albums as a child. And so I would remember what she was like the coach, or the vocal coach and director that directed all of us. I remember the pointers that she had gave me. And so, it took a minute for me to think. And so I started just using it and practicing. And at the same time of me trying to learn how to sing, I also was teaching myself how to sound engineer, because I know that I've already knew how to mix and arrange and all of that stuff. I just didn't know how to master. And here it is again. We're on lockdown. I can't really contact many people, and so I had to buckle down and teach myself how to master or, engineer a song. And so He Said is actually the very first song I've ever engineered. I mean, I did everything on it. And like, normally I wouldn't. It's best to collaborate with other people, but in my circumstance, I really had to discipline myself. For real. It was hell. It was not a good time. I went through so much trying to produce and create this EP in general. But He Said was a hurdle. It was so many hurdles. It was so many bumps in the road. There were like several times where I was like, fuck this, I'm going to give up. You know what I'm saying? But something deep down inside of me, it was just a little something told me, not to give up and to keep trying. And I love to challenge myself. And yeah, He Said was a huge challenge. And, already the subject matter was tough. And now, me being in my project studio till 5:00 in the morning, and I would have to be at work at 6 a.m. And so there were nights, or there were days where, and I'm a maintenance tech, so there was days where I didn't sleep at all, or I got like 2 or 3 hours, like max 3 hours of sleep, working on the He Said vocals and mastering. Damn. It was when I felt that it was finally complete, I fell to the floor and I cried so hard. I don't think I cried so hard in my life. But I was just glad that it was over. I was like, it's over.
That's what's up. Hell yeah.
So it was probably one of the biggest. It was the biggest music challenge, production challenge that I've ever encountered. Because normally when I make music, everything just works out, everything falls into place. But He Said that was hard, and I think it has a lot to do with me transitioning from house music into synthwave and synthpop. You've really got to sing. You really got to know how to sing, or you really have to have good vocals. It's not necessarily like making house music. House music is like child's play. It's easy to make. Synthwave, synthpop, no, this stuff. It just takes a lot more. Like I guess stamina, like ability to want to do it. A lot more merit to do it. You know what I'm saying? You can't sound dry. You can't, you can get away with a dry sounding house track and everyone will still love it. But with this sound, it's got to sound like it's played on the radio already, or it is playing on the radio. So it's more of a global sound than what house music is. So that made me nervous too. And like I said, it was me getting my feet wet into a genre that I really loved, but I didn't necessarily release any music or produce anything from it. And I figured to switch genres because 80s music, that's what most people call it. That's 80s music. It's like you're in the 80s. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Because those were like my happy times. In the 80s, I was a little girl. Oh. And so it's a happy place. Synthpop, synthwave, DarkSynth, all of it, which synth or which, new wave, all of it. It all reminds me of when I was like a little girl and I didn't have any worries. I didn't have to pay bills. I didn't have to worry about boyfriends. I didn't have to worry about anything. I was able to imagine that the music of the 80s helped my little mind soar and take me to places, that I really enjoyed in my mind. And so that's what it's doing for me now.
All right, dope. All right, so when you finished, completed He Said, would you say that song inspired you more?
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. What He Said has done is it's given me a new perspective on vocalists and on sound engineers, most definitely. And it's inspired me to work on singing more. I love it now. I was afraid to sing and I hated my voice because I have a deep voice. And when most people want to, see a female, vocalist, they expecting this beautiful songbird, this little high pitched, right. Disney sounding, or what I'm saying, and I can't do that. And so I've got this husky, deep voice, and I've always had it since I was a little girl. Like if I was in class talking, the teacher would know that it was me because the bass in my voice would hum the whole entire classroom, and people always think that I'm a guy over the phone. And they call me sir a lot. And So to try to sing, if I can't even talk and I get, just talking, most definitely I'm not going to try to sing. But working, doing the He Said, it helped me grow into my voice. It helped me learn my voice, to be okay with the way it sounds. And now I would like to use this instrument a lot more. I would love to master this instrument totally. But I also want to get more into engineering sound as well. And like I said, my respect for the engineer. I never knew. I mean, well, I knew it because I've been in so many, recording studios and have worked with so many engineers and have written so many songs and stuff like that, and produced so much that, I just did the music or whatever, and I would just send it to Nathan Hershey or to someone to master, and I would get it back and like, okay, yay, but they really, sound engineers they're the music makers. Like it's almost like we give them a visual aid and they take that visual aid and turn it into art. And so I really appreciate sound engineers now. I feel like they should be the ones revered more so than the actual artists, because the artists don't necessarily sound like that. Right. The engineer makes them sound like that. The band don't necessarily sound like that. The engineer makes them sound like that.
Hell yeah.
So, and I've never really looked at it that way until I was stuck having to do it, for myself. And so, yeah, I most definitely have a way high respect for both vocalists and sound engineers. Now I'm kind of just like, I want to do that stuff instead of being the musician.
Right.
But yeah, I'm very much inspired in those departments.
That's dope. All right. So let me ask you this. Music videos. Do you have any music videos from earlier in with life, or can we expect a music video for He Said?
Oh, music video for He Said is already out, everybody. You guys can
already out?
Yeah, you go to YouTube and check it out. It was fun making it because same thing. It was done during the lockdown. Yeah, so I had to even shoot my own music video by myself. All
right, well,
so, a lot of work. So He Said had a lot of my energy, I was completely drained, so drained that I fell back on the creation of this EP that's getting ready to release because I was tired. I was mentally tired. I was physically tired. I was not getting the proper rest. I was not eating even. I would forget to eat because I was, really hammering into that track. And the more and more that I hammered into it, the more and more it sounded great to me. And it was like a video game, you know what I'm saying? It's like a game, and I wanted to win. And finally, when I won, I realized how tired I was. And so I needed a little bit of a break so that I can clear my head of He Said, so that I can continue the other projects that I was working on for the EP.
Dope. All right. So let's go to like 2006 and 2011. You said that you toured.
Yeah, I used to tour. Yeah, doing house music a whole lot, so much that I really didn't have a chance to be around my daughter from the time she was about 13 to 18. I was always on the road. I was always doing stuff in the music world. I started off as a radio personality like you, and then I moved on to being a nightclub DJ. And then I started, being confident enough to just start throwing out my original work in these nightclubs just to test market it, because at that time, this new wave hit the DJ world called Serato. And so since I had a project studio at home and everything was made in wave format, I was able to test market my music in a lot of these venues. And when I, found out the ones that everybody that kept everyone on the dance floor, I went on ahead and released my first, but actually it was my first album, because I released an EP before that. But this was like the real deal Holyfield, because it got pressed onto wax. There was music videos. it was advertised all over MySpace at that time. I was like one of those like MySpace celebrities. Like the world was following me and everything. And so I had a lot of great supporters that paved, that helped me be able to tour. It went from being in, the Midwest to outward. And so I want to thank places like Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio was the first people to give me a shot. And when they did, they kept bringing me back, and they was very loud about me. So loud that other cities and states was like, who is this? Who is this? And so they would look me up because my name was Vinyl Bitchy at that time. So it's a crazy, catchy name. And then I wore this crazy getup that my daughter would draw me wearing. And so my manager at that time would get my clothes tailor-made from a man in Singapore so that I would look just like my daughter's drawings. And like maybe a year and a few months later, my style was up inside of Hot Topic. I was like, okay, I don't want to look like this anymore. I remember one day this man asked to take a picture of me. And I was like, okay. And after that, everyone started looking like me. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to look like this anymore. And, they look inside of the Midwest a lot for ideas to people on the coast. And that's pretty much what happened with me.
That's dope. All right. So let me ask you this. Do you use Instagram to do live performances?
Do I use Serato for live performances?
No, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook.
Have I ever?
Yeah.
To be honest, I've never used those platforms to do a live show. I do live stuff on other apps though.
Oh, okay.
I don't understand why I don't, because of, like, my supporters, majority of my supporters are on, well, I can't say that either. I've got a lot of them everywhere. I mean, it's all, sporadically on different platforms and everything. So I guess I kind of just stick to that platform because my best thing is I'm always looking for, new supporters and more supporters.
Right.
So I'm not necessarily, marketing to the same people. And this is a good way to, spread myself out a little bit more. But I would, I'm going to have to try doing that though. I've never did a live YouTube or Instagram, but I have an account on Star Maker. I have an account on it's this app called Tango, and it's another one called Facecast. Facecast is the one that I'm on the most. I always do live performances on Facecast, and I also allow all of my viewers to watch me in action create, the music that I'm creating, and they've even helped give me ideas and pointers and stuff like that. And so I always tell them that you guys help me make this music. So our EP is coming out, and check out our music video, he said. And they're like, yay, and I love the fact that they put their energy into it as well. So we all just feed off of each other and we come up with some really good ideas.
That's dope. All right. Do you have any collaborations on this album or EP coming out?
Yes. Actually, Jimmy Tripp from the Tripp Brothers, pretty popular. Usually they do house music, but the Tripp Brothers, they collaborate with so many people. And so Jimmy, he's giving me some saxophone, a little bit of sax on one of the songs called Passionista. Really cute. It's a really cute song. It's so cute because it's about wanting to just lay up in the bed all day and not get out of bed until the nighttime comes so that you can go out and party. It's like this ritual between this couple. It's like every Saturday night or Saturday during the day, they just lay up in bed and the chick wants to be held and wants to just stay there in bed all the way till, the sun comes down, because now she wants to run the strip and she wants to put on her sexy little clothes and get all sexy with her man and enjoy them. It's a fun song. It's fun. It's cute and it's fun.
All right.
And so with Jimmy Tripp putting his saxophone on it, you can't have, that 80s sound without a saxophone,
Right. All right. So let me ask you this. If you could collaborate with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Ooh, that is a hard question because I'm a music guru. You can't do that. You cannot do that. Shoot. Wow. Because I can't name just one. I can name a few though.
Yeah.
Okay, I would love to work with the Diogenes Club for sure. I would love to work with Roger Waters, Syd Barrett. I would also love to work with Prince. Totally. I would love to work with Prince. And that's about, what I'm saying, the size of that. You know what I'm saying? Because then the list is just going to keep going. Because I also would love to work with Depeche Mode. And so, you know what I'm saying? It's just too many people. I mean, I want to be Janet Jackson when I grow up. I'm still waiting to be her. But I don't want to necessarily collaborate with her. So, her music's great.
Right.
And it's inspired me to do music. But her music don't really make me want to go to my project studio and make something like how listening to Prince or the Diogenes Club, or Syd Barrett or Roger Waters. You know what I'm saying? He's amazing. Those are amazing people. You know what I'm saying? So they actually, you know what I'm saying? They draw me in. Janet just makes me want to dance and be cute, cutesy fruitsy, but they actually draw me into music.
That's dope. All right, so do you have any advice for the youth?
Ooh, when it comes to music production?
Yeah, it could be that or just in general.
Oh, okay. In general, some advice to the youth. Don't be, always make time to honor yourself. Everybody, we do this thing where we're all, our worst critics. And when you do that sort of thing, you're holding yourself back. No one else is doing it. You're doing that. And I've learned the hard way because now I'm to that point where I don't care what people think, if they like my music or not, or if they like my singing or not. It's something that I'd always wanted to do, but I was the one who held myself back. And most people want to see fresh young chickadee, artists out there. You don't want to wait until, you're older and then finally get comfortable with who you are. You know what I'm saying? Or get comfortable with actually going for it. Go for it now, and don't let anybody deter you from whatever your goal or your path is. And it's not going to be easy. You're going to, have hurdles, but you got to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because there is light at the end of the tunnel. So make time to think about all the good things about you. You know what I'm saying? And be true, to yourself when it comes to those things. And like, if you know that you're a badass at playing, the guitar, you're a badass at playing the guitar, just do it. You know what I'm saying? And don't be afraid of what other people think, because this is your enjoyment. This is your life. And you don't want to live your life for someone else. You got to do it for you.
That's dope. Hell yeah. All right. So, would you say that your music is kind of versatile?
Yeah, I would say it is, because even though it's synth pop and synth wave, it can be easily, danced to and mixed into any other EDM genre, because I believe the synth pop, synth wave, all that, it was the door, it was what opened up the doors to our electronic sounds. It was like the, trance came from, the new wave retro sound, and so it's just something that has evolved. So it would be very easy to play my music with EDM, but then on top of that, it's pretty easy to kind of mix some of my music into soul or R&B as well. So
that's dope.
It's almost like the best of both worlds in a way. You get yourself your synth, but you kind of get yourself some of that, R&B or soul in it too. So I love it.
So would you say you're targeting both audiences?
Ooh, wow. I'm targeting whoever likes it.
That's right. That's right.
For real, I'm not really going for an angle. I think that's the good thing about this project, because when I was doing house music, it was directly house music. It was directly to the house heads. You know what I'm saying? This, I just want everyone to enjoy it.
That's
I mean,
true.
I know what my demographic is, through reading my, the statistics and all that stuff that they send you when you got like an artist account, like on Facebook or Instagram, and you get the marketing, and they let you know your target audience and stuff like that, which was shocking for me because at one point I kind of figured the kids wouldn't be jiving on it, but I mean, not that I was making it for the kids anyway. I was just making it, but I sort of had it in me that I was making it for people, that grew up in the 80s or that even grew up in the 90s, because they would remember the 80s sound. And my sound's kind of a good mesh between the 80s and the 90s, to be for real. And so I was thinking people like in my age bracket would be, going for, nope, the babies is listening to it. So now I know for a fact that I've got to watch what I say and what I do and how I dress. Right. Because I'm most definitely not trying to put any ideas in anybody's heads. You know what I'm saying? I just want to release my message through song, and I don't want it to come across, disrespectful or, what I'm saying, indecent or anything like that. But same token, I'm a adult, so so that you will possibly see some adult activity going on when you watch the music videos or listen to other songs that I may have collaborated with other artists on. Like I have a music video coming up for a house music track that I did for Wetsuit Recordings. It's kind of it's most definitely an explicit advisory type of thing, because it too was me getting that guy off of my chest for being just the lying sack that he was. Right. And I remember working on this song, and I was so angry, and I was just really angry. And so I just walked over to my microphone and just started saying what you'll hear in the song. And so the song has released, but we're working on the music video to that actually this coming week. I start with that, and it's going to be kind of very disturbing. There's going to be some disturbingness and adult like activity happening in the video for sure. So you will see some flash, you will see some sensuality, you will see some sexuality, you will see, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of abuse. You will see you'll see an assortment of things that children aren't supposed to be watching, to be for real. Okay. But a lot of the babies really don't mess around with house music, so I can kind of get away with that. But as far as the synth projects, I'm going to be like how they were in the 80s. They really didn't show much skin. They really weren't too graphic. Everything was innocent, and that's the thing that I love about the 80s, and that's the thing that I love about the music and the sound. It gives me a chance to go back to my innocence. Right. So being vinyl bitchy, I was raunchy. I wore the low cut, corsets and things like that. And so now I get to, be that girl that I wanted to be when I was a little girl, when the teenage girls was wearing the cool clothes and I was too young to wear them. I get to do that now. You know what I'm saying? And so I get a chance to kind of, show the youth, if the youth are watching, since I know they are, I can show them that they can be sexy and be cute and still be popular or still be liked and have fun and stay in a child's place, because you grow up fast. You'll be like 16 today and you'll turn around and you'll be 24 tomorrow. So stay in a child's place, stay in the innocent, keep the innocence and keep an imagination, because your imagination helps you manifest things. So don't
That's
lose that. Don't become, you know what I'm saying? Don't become too jaded out here. So hold on to that, your innocence. And so I guess that's another thing that this project is doing. It showing that, you know, I'm holding on to my innocence, and other people should try to do the same thing, because that's how you make magic happen.
That's dope. All right, so let's all right, so if you were not doing music right now, what would you be doing?
My maintenance. I own a maintenance company, and I love working with my hands. I love fixing things. I love making things pretty again. And so right now in my life, I can honestly say that I am happy because I'm doing two things, the two top things that I love doing. You know what I'm saying? I love producing and creating different stories and different emotions and different ideas through, you know, song and through music. But then I also love being the hero at the end of the day. To me, that's paying itself. When I arrive somewhere, they're worried and they're distraught, and I'm like, hey, you know, no need to worry. I'm here. I've got this. You know, and then I do it, and then they're like, oh my God, I love you. And it's like, okay, every day I'm getting paid. So at the end of the day, I'm like always a hero. So
yeah,
I love
solving
it.
problems.
Yeah, so I do everything from HVAC to plumbing. I do everything. I install parking blocks. I fix char broilers when they break down. I fix refrigerators when they break down. I fix, you know, like I said, the HVAC systems when they break down. I install hot water heaters. You know, I do like, I have a very masculine job, but I was a tomboy and my mom was a tomboy. So my mom, she did all the home maintenance. My dad was a pretty boy. My dad just sat around looking nice. You know what I'm saying? So like my mom would be up under the hood of the car while daddy's sitting in the house watching Kojak or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I've embodied my mom's masculine energy there. But I love kicking it with my daddy because like he always gave me wonderful words of wisdom, and he was a lot more supportive towards anything that me and my siblings wanted to do versus my mom. My mom was like very strict and very mean and not as giving, and not she wasn't affectionate or anything like that, but my dad was. And I'm like the baby girl of 10 kids, so
damn.
and my dad, he wanted every last one of us. I was like, you're crazy. You know what I'm saying? And he really loves us all genuinely. He wished he could have had more. I'm glad he didn't.
All right, that's dope, man. All right, so we're about half and close to 2022. Do you have any goals set before 2022?
Not really, because of me starting the maintenance company was my goal. Okay, well, I guess I got music goals.
Yeah.
After this synthwave or synth project, I actually do want to go into more of your 80s R&B now. I still want to stay in the 80s.
Right.
But I want to be your Jody Watley. I want to be your Janet Jackson. I want to be your Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. So I'm going to get my feet wet with that. You know what I'm saying? To see how that kicks my butt. I'm sure it will, because I love a challenge. If it don't kick my butt, then I'll get bored with it. So yeah, my next goal is to by 2023 be working on not 80s 90s R&B sound. Because I don't think anyone's doing that right now. Either they're going back to the 80s or they're trying a lot of these new sounds that are out, but nobody's really trying to go back to sounding like Morris Day, or no one's trying to go back to, sounding like I said, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Anita Baker, Jody Watley, stuff like that. So I still want it to be nice and dancey and fun, but I just want to do the flip side, because the 80s, oh my God, the 80s had, to me, the best music. It didn't matter what genre it was. Even country music was like, everyone loved it. It didn't matter who you were in the 80s. The 80s wasn't playing when it came to releasing, music. So I'm going to probably still play around in the 80s, because after I do the R&B, you'll probably see me trying to do an 80s country, or me try to do an 80s, adult contemporary or whatever, but I most definitely have a thing for the 80s.
That's dope. That's dope. All right. So let me ask you this. What best advice have you been given?
Be mindful of the people that you cross on your way up, because you're going to see them on your way down. Yeah, my booking agent, my manager and booking agent, Daryl Owens from Chicago, he discovered me and plucked me out of St. Louis and took me to Columbus, Ohio, and gave me a career. And I was acting a fool one night. You know, you kind of get the big head, you get kind of arrogant when you start getting popular, you know. And I was acting a fool. And he grabbed me by my arm and put me aside. I was like, hey, you know, always remain professional when you're out here, you know, in these, you know, venues, you know, and don't be, you know, gossiping about nobody. Don't be talking with anyone who's gossiping about it, because I wasn't the one who's gossiping. Someone was gossiping and I was laughing about it and all that stuff. And Daryl didn't think that was too cool. And so he nipped that in the bud immediately. He's just like, you can't do that type of stuff. And so that goes for everything. You know, it doesn't matter what you're doing in life. You know what I'm saying? Be mindful of who you're crossing, because you're going to have to cross that person again. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to treat someone like trash on your way up. Right. And then now you're not the hot commodity anymore. You know what I'm saying? And they all remember what you said and what you did when you were hot. Right. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to mess that up. And that's with anything.
That's dope. All right. So would you give that same advice to any upcoming band, artist, or producer in your local area?
Yeah, do all things in moderation. Please, because the whole He Said thing, yeah, I ended up in a hospital because I overworked myself, because I was not eating, I wasn't sleeping. I was, you know, going out and doing maintenance, and because I work with I have like 19 commercial buildings that I do work on, and none of them are in Missouri. All of them are over in Illinois, and they're all spread out, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 and something, 300 something miles away from each other. Damn. You know, and so I'm trucking it literally, you know, and when I get home, it was like when I finally would make it home, it was instantly project studio, no dinner, no sleeping. The only thing I did was feed my dog, made sure that the dog ate and drank. And half the time the dog didn't want to eat because I wasn't eating. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, so what I was doing to myself, it was, you know, manifesting onto my pet. And that's a good way to make your pet sick. You know what I'm saying? So do things in moderation. Always make time for yourself to take a break. Never go full throttle with anything. Take time, take breathers, because you can age yourself, you can hurt yourself, you can end up in a hospital. You know what I'm saying? You can end up having seizures or something. You don't want to overexert yourself.
So, all right.
You know, I am a workaholic, but what I was doing there was quite dangerous, and I wouldn't want anybody else to put themselves in that. So please take your time. There is no rush.
All right. So let me ask you this. Do you have a merch line coming up, or do you have a website where people can view your music and be able to, maybe if you got any hard copies for sale?
Yes, they can go to my Bandcamp. You can just look up Dajana. It's spelled like Dajana, though. A lot of people call me Dajana, but it's Dajana, but it's the Croatian way of spelling it. I thought because you know, my name is Dajana, my real name. And that's another thing. Dajana, this album or EP is my first time being myself. Usually when I'm out being an entertainer, whether I'm being a music artist or a flow artist, you know, circuits arts or whatever, because I do a lot of stuff. I never have, no one knows my real name. No one knew it. You know, they would just call me as my artist name. And for a very long time, everybody thought that my name was really Laura Charles. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, no, I mean, well, to them, yes. But I finally got comfortable with who I was during the pandemic, because it was like everybody, you know, the lockdown I don't know if, I'm sure you probably don't, but I read tarot as well. And what happened was we were like the Fool card. And the Fool card is when you lock yourself away from society, from your friends, from everything, to learn yourself and to work on yourself internally. Everyone has a period in their life when they back away from everything and everybody,
right,
to reboot themselves or to even figure out who they are as a person. And I never liked who I was. I hated my name. So I never wanted anybody to know my name. And I think becoming a music artist and being a model and doing all the many things that I've done, it was me running away from me. But everywhere you are, there you are,
Right.
And so when we had to get, locked down, the world had no choice but to be with themselves.
Right.
And work on themselves. And I live alone. It's just me and my dog. So I couldn't run from it. And I dealt with the purge. That was when I was like on that verge of wanting to commit suicide and everything. But I made it. I purged all of that out, and I finally stopped fighting myself, learning who I was, and coming, to terms with the things that I wasn't good at, or that I've done to people, or the way that I've carried myself and stuff like that. And I had to be honest with myself, and and that's what Dajana was all about. I'm finally being me. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's seen Vinyl. Everyone's seen Laura. Everyone's seen Phantasm. Everybody have seen Baby Girl. Everybody have seen all of these different people that I've been, but they've never seen Dajana. They've never met Dajana. So I introduced myself to the world in spring because it's symbolic with life. Life, a beginning, birth, a rebirth. Because in the fall, I killed off Vinyl Bitchy. It was like rest in peace, Vinyl Bitchy. A lot of people were like sad about it, but they didn't know that in fact, I didn't even know that I would be doing music. I was done. I was completely done. I was like, screw this stuff. I don't think I'll ever mess with it again. Until my dad put that bass guitar in my hand. It's like he gave me a second life again. So this time I'm going to be me. This time the world's going to have to accept who I am as me. I'm not a character anymore. I'm not hiding myself behind big wigs and big fancy clothes and all of that stuff that I hid myself behind, previously, being an entertainer. Now, like in the He Said music video, you would never catch a woman trying to do a music video with no makeup on, hair not done, bummy clothes. You know what I'm saying? I did that on purpose. In fact, the whole music video was quite symbolic. Me being in my lyra up in the tree. It was everything that was in it. My makeup not being perfect. Me sitting, me with the fur coat and everything. It's like, because the guy promised me all this stuff, and in my mind, I was glitz and glam to him.
Right.
But really, I'm this little, everyday, girl next door, nappy hair. Don't go get my nails done. Don't get my, don't wear makeup and stuff like that. And so it was me. I gave, the world me. You know what I look like without makeup. You know what I look like without my hair done pretty. You know what I'm saying? Right. And you know what I'm saying? It's a really good introduction, because it was like I'm naked in a way. This is me. You know what I'm saying? I can't lie. I can't hide anything, because I don't have makeup on. This is what it is.
Right.
And the whole thing is just the whole entire EP is very symbolic, because it's the rebirth of me. And like I said, it happened in spring when life is born. That's when, the grass grows, new flowers. That's when, the rabbits and, nature and wildlife starts making children. And, you know what I'm saying? It's the rebirth, I'm not like super religious or anything, but it's like, Jesus being resurrected. I was being resurrected.
Right. That's tough.
Because here it is. I did this big bonfire where I burned everything that had anything to do with Vinyl Bitchy. I burned like all like merchandise. I burned all my music. I actually burned records. I burned CDs. I burned anything that had anything to do with Vinyl Bitchy. But now Dajana is, born. So I love it. I mean, it's, for me, it's an important turn in my life, and I'm sharing it with the world. So the whole EP, all of it. So if you ever wanted to know who I really was, because I was always so mysterious as as a entertainer previously, but now it's like, here it is. You see what you get. I'm not gonna work hard. Like I'm not gonna work as hard for it as I did when I was younger, because I lit my candle at both ends when I was younger and burnt myself out. I'm going to take it easy, and I'm going to take it slow, and trust me, what I come out with, it will, draw you in, and it will help you learn something. I could say that my music is like a learning, like how old 80s TV shows used to be. Like, TV isn't the way that it was back then. Programming back then was, by the end of the show, you learned a life lesson. So that's what I'm hoping that this music will do. My projects will do. By the end of the song, you've learned something. You know what I'm saying? It's some news that you can use. It's not just something that you can dance around to, but it's something that you can actually contemplate.
Oh yeah. All right. So how is your music going to evolve from here?
I believe that I'm gonna become a lot more polished sounding. I think it's gonna I'm kind of original, because it's not many women, especially right now, that's with these deep voices like what I have, and not many people embrace a deep voiced female vocalist. I really think that I'm going to change that. Me and this other artist, she calls herself Her. She has a very deep voice. And to be honest, in some respects, she's the reason why I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. If she can do it, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? And so she actually inspired me to get up and do it, because we have unique voices, and even though we both have deep voices, we don't sound alike. Mine is a little different than hers. You know what I'm saying? It's very unique. But the thing about it is, everyone always remembers my voice, though, when I speak and stuff like that. So I know they'll remember it when I'm singing. And so I'm hoping that I'll be able to change the page. Me and that artist, Her, could change the page for other females that have a passion or a dream of being able to sing, but they're too afraid to, because their voices are deep. Right. I want to give, I want to start paving the way for us deep voiced women, because times change. Because like in the 80s, we had a lot of deep voiced women singing, and then all of a sudden switched to the songbird. So I want to bring it back to us deep voiced women doing it. You know what I'm saying? Let them know it's okay. Come on out with your very white sounding butt. Give it to us. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I want to do. I want to open up that door.
All right. So let me ask you this: you got any special shout outs, and do you want to speak on anything that I didn't ask you?
Oh no, you did great. Oh my God. The questions that you asked me, most definitely I've always wanted to be asked. So that was good. And I would like to shout out Terry G of Wetsuit Recordings and Midwest Hustle, because he kept me alive. He was the one who saw the signs of my depression. And that's how I ended up doing the song, that this music video that I'm getting ready to do. The song is called Modine Nelson, Ghosted. And it's a house music track. And, he owns the two, house music labels. And he was watching how I was deleting pictures and people and things like that from off of my social media. So he immediately reached out to me like, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? What you doing? And so he gave me a project. He gave me something to do, to, you know what I'm saying, to get myself out of that. So I want to thank him, and he's been doing nothing but being supportive and stomping for me. He's always been a great support, but he doesn't know. Well, yes, he does. He knows that, he stayed on me. He really did. And we're not even in the same state. He's in Indiana and everything. And he was, I didn't even have my own family members reaching out to me at that time. No visits, no phone calls. Didn't even notice what was happening with my social media pages and things like that. But he saw it, and he immediately was just like, "You're not doing that. That is what you're not going to do." And that changed a lot when it comes to me and Terry's relationship. And I also would like to shout out Juxtaposition, Greg Hildebrand. He's another person that has basically, I'm his protege, pretty much. He's ultra proud of me because he was going to be the one to master the He Said project, but I kept telling him no, and he's like, "Come on, let me do it." And I kept telling him no, because I'm trying to learn how to do this. And when I locked myself away and learned how to do it, he was amazed. And so, and he's the one who taught me how to produce and arrange music, because I already was a musician, but I didn't. And I took audio production in college, so I knew how to edit and do all that stuff. But he actually showed me how to actually work with the DAW and be able to use the DAW with all of my instruments and create, the music that I've been creating since 2002. So I would like to really shout that guy out. Like, he's my world. Leo Gregory Hildebrand. Greg, I love you. Oh my God, I love you. So, and like, that was a work in progress. And now, like I said, he's like my sensei with it. And he feels a little sad that he doesn't have much to teach me anymore. But I'm just wanting to know, I'm not letting you go. You don't get it, you don't get to leave me that easy. My mom, my mom and dad, but most definitely my dad. I'm gonna shout out my dad. I love you, Marvin Akins, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have the passion and love for music that I do, because music was my father's world. Now television is, but when he was younger, yeah, like, he taught me so much. So those are the people that I hold near and dear to me, that has really, really, catapulted my dreams and my goals for arranging and creating the art that I do.
All right, that's dope. Okay, so plug in all your social media outlets. Let everyone know where they can find your music and what platforms they're on.
Okay, first of all, everybody, how you doing? Hopefully you guys enjoyed the interview. But most definitely, my single, He Said, it's available on all platforms, on all streaming and downloading platforms. Yes, indeed. You can even put, like, my song, He Said, and the Modine Nelson track. You can put both of those songs actually on your TikTok videos, because it's on TikTok. If you got Snapchat, you can put them on your Snapchat. You can put them on Instagram. You can put them on my Facebook. All those platforms, you know what I'm saying? You'll be able to find it. I'm on YouTube Music, just all of them. Just go out and go do it. But to be in touch with me and to stay up to date with the new merch that's going to come out and the new music projects and stuff like that, most definitely follow me on Bandcamp. It's just Dajana. You'll be able to find me. Trust me. Especially if you type in Dajana He Said, you'll find me. And also, I'm on Instagram as Dajana_the Muse. And Dajana's Dajana. So it looks like Dajana, then _ the Muse. And then I'm also on, of course, Facebook. Now you can find my artist page there under what is it? Yeah, Dajana Sensation. So
Dope.
Dajana Sensation, you can find me there. You can find me on Facecast as Dajana. Everywhere I'm at, I'm Dajana, people.
Yeah.
But yeah, most definitely follow my YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell, because you will be getting a lot of behind the scenes stuff. You'll be getting a lot of notifications for new projects, new music video projects, and possible live shows now. Since everything's rolling through and stuff like that. And yeah, Instagram me. Like I said, Dajana the Muse, and I'm also on Instagram as Audacious Melodious. So I'm on a few little platforms, and I really do appreciate everyone's time and their support and their kindness.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Dajana, you already know this is Strictly for the Music Podcast, and we're gone.